Hello student, welcome to Learn More Maths. Today we are going to learn about statistics part 5, finding out mean of group data using step deviation method. In the previous class we have learned to find the mean of group data using direct method and assumed mean method. Student, if there are larger values in the given data, it is not very easy to multiply them and it takes more time to multiply. So hence in assumed mean method, the larger values have been converted into the smaller values by subtracting a fixed value from the data. So again in step deviation method, again further the larger values converted into the smaller values by dividing a fixed value. So see what it is. We will learn in this method, step deviation method. See student, what it is, a step deviation method. We use this formula to find mean using step deviation method. Step deviation method, student. Step deviation method. So we use this formula to find the mean of group data in step deviation method. Mean x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi into ui divided by sigma fi into h. So this is the formula, student, we use to find the mean of a group data using step deviation method. So mean x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi into ui divided by sigma fi into h. So this is the formula we use to find the mean of group data using step deviation method. Mean x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi into ui divided by sigma fi into h. Where here what are the terms involved in this formula? You have to write, students. See here where a is equal to assumed mean. Already you have familiar, student, you know a is equal to assumed mean. A is equal to assumed mean. Sigma is summation. Sigma is equal to summation. Sigma is equal to summation. So we use this symbol to find the sum of all values. Fi is equal to frequency. Fi is equal to frequency. Fi is equal to frequency. Ui is equal to xi minus a by h. Ui is equal to xi minus a by h. So here xi, you know student, xi is equal to class mark. Xi is equal to what, student? Class mark. Xi is equal to class mark. A again assumed mean. H is equal to size of the class. H is equal to size of the class. H is equal to size of the class, and sigma fi is equal to sum of the frequencies. Sum of the frequencies. So these are the terms involved in the formula, students. See once again. Mean x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi into ui divided by sigma fi into h. This is the formula we use to find the mean of group data using step deviation method. So what are the terms involved in the formula? A is equal to assumed mean. Sigma is equal to summation. Fi is equal to frequency. Ui is equal to xi minus a by h, where xi is equal to class mark, a again assumed mean, h is the size of the class. Sigma fi is equal to sum of the frequencies. So this is the formula and the terms involved in the formula. Student, very important, he asks every time formula for 2 marks. Write the formula to find the mean of group data using step deviation method and explain each term involved in the formula. So he asks, student, very important. You have to write the formula and the terms involved in the formula. You can get 2 marks. So this is the formula we use to find mean using step deviation method. Student, here there is a question. We have to find the mean for that using step deviation method. See student, what it is. The table shows the daily expenditure of food of 25 households in a locality. Find the mean daily expenditure on food. So for the same problem, we have found the mean using direct method and assumed mean method. Again I am taking the same problem. We have to find the mean using step deviation method. So now you can compare all the three methods, student. So that's why I have taken the same problem to find the mean using all the three methods. So here he has given daily expenditure and a number of households. So daily expenditure he has given in rupees, student, and a number of households he has given. So now we have to prepare a tabular form. This, how can we find a solution? So this is the tabular form, student. Now we have to write a daily expenditure. First one he has given a daily expenditure. We have to write a daily expenditure. What he has given? We have to write daily expenditure. Daily expenditure he has given, student. I am writing it as daily expenditure. So he has given these two horizontally. Now we have to write them vertically. That's all, student. So first two columns he has given horizontally, just you have to write them vertically. So daily expenditure and a number of households. Number of households. So what he has given, first we have to write those two. So these are frequency, student. So first here it is 100 to 150. So first class, these are known as class intervals, student. First one is 100 to 150 and the second one is 150 to 200. Next 200 to 250 and 250 to 300 and 300 to 350, 300 to 350. So these are the daily expenditures in rupees he has given. These are also known as class intervals. So next, number of households he has given. So for the class interval 100 to 150, there are 4 households, student. Next there are 5 here. Next there are 12 and 2 and 2. So these two he has given, student, in the data. So he has given horizontally, just we have written vertically. Then after, what we have to do? We have to find the class mark. So we have to find the class mark. So class mark is known as xi values, xi. So by finding the average of each class interval, we can get the class mark of that class interval. So here the class interval, first class interval is 100 to 150. We have to find average. So 100 plus 150 divided by 2. 100 plus 150 is 250 divided by 2 is 125, student. 125. So 150 plus 200, 350 divided by 2 is 175. 200 plus 250, 450 divided by 2, it is 225. 250 plus 300, 550 divided by 2, it is 275. 300 plus 350 is 650 divided by 2 is 325. So these are the class marks, student. So class marks are the representatives of the class intervals. So now we have to write the class marks. These are the class marks. Next we have to find DI. DI is equal to xi minus a. DI is equal to xi minus a. So now we have to select a value for assumed domain. From the class marks, we have to select a value for assumed domain. Generally we take middle value as assumed domain. So this is the middle value, student. Take it as assumed domain. This is the assumed domain. So now we have to find a DI value. So these are the xi values. So by subtracting a value from each class mark, we can get a DI values. So now 125 minus 225, 125 minus 225 is equal to minus 100. 125 minus 225. Next, student, 175 minus 225 is equal to minus 50. 225 minus 225. 225 minus 225 is equal to 0, student. Next, 275 minus 225. So it is equal to 50. Next, 325 minus 225. 325 minus 225. again it is equal to 100. 325 minus 220. These are the DI values, student. Again, up to here, up to fourth column, same as assumed mean method. So in step deviation method, next we have to further, these values can be converted into the smaller values by dividing a fixed value, that is size of the class. So see student, here size of the class, we can get a UI values. UI is equal to xi minus a divided by h. So these are the xi minus a values, student. By dividing h value we can get smaller values. So what is h? Size of the class. So these are the class intervals, student. So difference between the lower boundary and upper boundary, or the difference between any two successive lower boundaries, or the difference between any two successive upper boundaries is the size of the class. So here what is the difference between these two, student? 50. Here also 50, here also 50. So here size of the class h is equal to how much? 50. Difference between lower boundaries or the upper boundaries, successive lower boundaries or successive upper boundaries, it is 50, students. So now we have to divide all these values by 50. Why? So the difference of the class interval is 50, student. So we have to divide each value by 50. So minus 100 divided by 50, which is equal to minus 2, minus 50 divided by 50, which is equal to minus 1. So 0 divided by 50, which is equal to 0 again. Here 50 divided by 50, which is equal to 1. 100 divided by 50, which is equal to 2. So these are the UI values, student. So now these larger values have been converted into the smaller values by dividing a fixed value, that is size of the class. So this is the U column in step deviation method, student. Up to fourth column, it is the same as assumed mean method, but this fifth column is new in the step deviation method. So now we have to find Fi into Ui. So Fi into Ui. These are the Fi values, student. These are the Ui values. Now we have to multiply and write here. 4 into minus 2 is minus 8. 5 into minus 1 is minus 5. 12 into 0 is 0. 2 into 1 is 2. 2 into 2 is 4. So these are the Fi into Ui values. So find the total, student. Total. So sigma Fi we require, student. Sigma Fi is equal to, so already has given 25 households. We can get, if you add all these values, you can get 25. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 12 is 21. 21 plus 2 is 23. 23 plus 2 is 25. So this is sigma Fi is equal to 25. Next we have to find sigma Fi into Ui. Sigma Fi into Ui is equal to, so here there are some negative and there are some positive. First add negative. Minus 8 minus 5, which is minus 13, plus 2 plus 6 plus 6, so which is equal to minus 7. So these are the sigma Fi into Ui values. Just we have to substitute in the formula, student. So this is the formula we use to find the mean using step deviation method. Mean x bar is equal to a plus sigma Fi into Ui divided by sigma Fi into h. So from the table we have, we have, so see student, first sigma Fi is equal to 25. Sigma Fi is equal to 25. A is equal to 225. A is equal to 225. H is equal to 50. So difference of the class interval, student, it is 50. Sigma Fi into Ui is equal to, sigma Fi into Ui is equal to, it is minus 7. So these are the values from the table, student. Sigma Fi is equal to 25. This is sigma fi. A is equal to 225. H is equal to 50. Size of the class. Sigma fi into ui is equal to -7. Just we have to substitute all the values in the formula. Mean x bar is equal to mean x bar is equal to a plus a is how much? 225 plus sigma fi into ui, that is -7, divided by sigma fi into ui, -7 divided by sigma fi is how much, student? 25 into h value. H value how much? It is 50. H is equal to 50, student. See, student, here a is subtracted from all the values, so hence we have added a. H is divided from all the value, h, all the values are divided by h, again we have to multiply the each value, so here h is multiplied. See, student, 225 here, 225, 25 once and 25 two, so plus -7 into 2, it is -14. 225 minus 14 is 211. So see, student, this is the mean daily expenditure on food. Therefore we can write conclusion: the mean daily expenditure, the mean daily expenditure on food, the mean daily expenditure, this is the mean daily expenditure on food is equal to how much, student? Rupees 211. So this is the conclusion, student. Find the mean daily expenditure on food. We have to write the conclusion. Therefore the mean daily expenditure on food is equal to rupees 211. So that's all, student. Like this we can find the mean of a group of data using step deviation method. So now see, student, there are three methods to find the mean of a group of data: direct method, assumed mean method, step deviation method. So comparatively you have to learn all the three methods, student. Just see here, in the direct method up to third one are same. So these three columns are same in the direct method. So in the assumed method up to fourth column it is same, but in the step deviation method we have to find these two, student. So like this we can find the mean using step deviation method. So student, very important, any one of these three methods you can get 4 marks in the examination. So suppose if he has find the mean of the following data, so if he doesn't mention the name of the method, you can find using any one of the three methods. So if he mention find the mean using a particular method, then you have to find using that method, student. Very important, student. You have to practice at least 5 to 6 times by solving different types of problems from your exercise, so you can get perfect, student. That's all today's class. In the next class we will learn about finding out median of the group of data. So to get latest updates, subscribe to my channel Learn More Maths by Vara Kumar Vatnala.